We have some t-shirts. If anybody's interested that didn't order a t-shirt, they might want to get one. We've got some. Come up to Laurie or me, and we'll get that for you. Also, please come up here and bid on the silent auction. We did the math, and if we can get at least the minimum bid on everything, we'll be able to make our contribution that we want to make to Hartley. So please be generous and come up and bid on that stuff. Scanlon? Oh, sorry, we don't have enough time. We'll have to skip through and we're gonna go to the slideshow now.
I'm going to run through just a bunch of quick slides, but what we're going to do when we're done is we're going to throw it on a loop, so it's just going to go through every 5 seconds. The slides will go through.
Hey Mario, people were asking me why I was wearing this
Oh,
coat.
yeah, there you go. It still fits in.
For sure.
It doesn't fit. Look at me, it doesn't fit. And one other thing too, if you go to the memorabilia table tonight, look at the t-shirts and things that we've hung. I don't remember the girls' gym uniforms, or Christy Hutt brought these. I don't remember that uniform down in the end. We also have her spanky pants for some reason. And I'm not really sure why, but they're there too. And she brought the 3 batons. So, majorettes, you're on deck in a little while, just so you know. One thing about the memorabilia. We've put it all out. Everything is on the table. A lot of you contributed memorabilia. We are going to ask you this evening, as you depart at some point, come up and just take what's yours. Please take anything. It belongs to you. And if you don't want to take it, you can leave it. Shelley from Hartley has said anything that's left, she wants us to give to them because they have little to no memorabilia from a lot of the classes. There's no history. Exactly right. But please, take what you brought. The fact that you all contributed to that is just fantastic. It helped us a lot with the photos. It certainly helped us with being able to put the memorabilia out. So we appreciate that. Would all the veterans in the room please stand up? And I'm going to kind of squat because I am not a veteran. We're going to ask you guys shortly. We're going to do some. We have those pictures last night, thank God. We've got a handful we want to do tonight, and one of the ones is going to be we're going to ask all the veterans to come up and get a picture with all of you as well. In your bags that you all got, you got a copy of the Hawkeye. Yes. If you'll look on the inside cover when you have a chance to sit down and read it, there's a letter from the committee. We cannot thank you guys enough for the responses you gave, for taking the time to be here. A lot of you came from long, long distances, and we're going to get into that. Some of you came from really, really short distances. We're going to get into that too. 6/7 of a mile. Way to go, Karen. But what we did, we took the Hawkeye, we amended it with the introductory letter at the very beginning. Rick's wife, Karen, typed up a lot of the things you wanted people to know about you, and she's put that in here. And then we put our class composite picture on the back page. So not everybody still had a Hawkeye, so we're glad to be able to provide that for you all. Okay, it's priceless. Want to bid on it? We'll sell them too. Yep. So last night we had some history. Coach Geyer, we were awful glad the comments you made last night as well. Mrs. Geyer, we are so glad you're here tonight as well. Miss Reese, we're extremely glad. I can't call you Mary Ann, I'm sorry. I can barely call Tim Brown Tim. But if you wouldn't mind, Coach, we'll bring the microphone back to you if there's anything you'd like to say. Dan Ansel and Mary Ann Reese, could we ask you to come up? We wanted you just to have a couple of comments for us, please. Come on. Looks exactly the same, except the hair's not red.
I'm not straightening it anymore. I think it is so exciting to see you all here and get to talk with so many of you. And it's 50 years. And you just think, what's happened? I mean, you think of all the experiences. It's sort of a privilege to be able to see at this stage of your life. Because when I saw you, you're 18 years old. High school was over. You all went different ways. So many of you I never saw again until tonight. And I thought, It's just so amazing. Marriages, some 2, some 3, some none, you know? Careers, children, grandchildren, living in different places. You know, it's just so much has happened. And I've had a great career. I've worked primarily in healthcare, behavioral health services, senior services, health promotion, disease management. But I want to talk to you because this is such a special time for you. In terms of aging, I worked a lot in aging. Everything from I was doing hospice in people's homes before there was hospice. I was working with people with mental health problems. I was taking old people out of the state hospital who had been in there for 40 plus years, and we took them back into the community because they were on now medication, and we are going to. I did hospice for people who are 100 years old or older, and it was so worthwhile. And when you do mental health and you get to have those experiences, you guys are moving on to a different stage. A lot of you, probably 10 to 15% of you, are going to get in your mid to late 90s. Think of that. And some of you may be gone tomorrow. But what I found in terms of working with older people who are 100 years old and dying, and doing counseling with people in crisis, the idea of not too many opportunities come along in people's lives where you can totally change, shift your direction. And a lot of you are going to have another 20, 30, 40 years. Because a number of you I talked to tonight are retiring or have retired. And some of you's retired years ago. But the idea is it's the opportunity. And one of the things that, and this will be sort of like ideas. A lot of psychologists talk about when do people change? And there's a belief system among a lot of beliefs. We change when the fear of change is no longer weighed by the pain of letting go. And think about in your lives that you've got an opportunity now. Some of you are going to be in your adult years retired longer than your working years. It's such an opportunity, and I will tell you, people, I work with a lot of rich old people who have more money than I'll ever see. And when they couldn't get out of bed, when nobody came to visit, they would tell me, I'd give everything if I could get out of bed today and nobody had to help me. I'd give everything I own if my kid would recontact me. So the idea is, what a great opportunity. It's an exciting time. What I'll tell you, and whoever talked about how time speeds up, there is a scientific reason why each year seems faster than the year before, because this is my teaching, is because what happens is each year is a shorter period of your total life. So it is going to get faster and faster and faster. You think about driving a car. When you're 14 and you got to wait 2 years, that's better more than 10% of your life. If I tell you now you got to wait 2 years to go on the safari, okay. So the idea is take the opportunity. Take the opportunity to go back to school, whatever you want to do. Because you're going to have more years doing that in most cases than your working career. So, I'm happy to be here. This is I was telling a lot of people tonight, I taught for a number of years, this is the best class that I ever. I tell people about Hartley, and think of this today. I'll shut up then. I got to teach, in 1972, I got to teach social deviance, I got to teach psychology, I got to teach futurology. I got to teach social reform movements of the 20th century. And I got to do independent studies. I tell teachers who are my friends that they say, where was that? What planet was that on? What a great time for you to come up through that school. You know, not every teacher's the best. Some teachers turn other people on. some people don't. But the idea, it is a special community. And as far as I'm concerned, you're a special class.
Thank you.